Our Consultants Network of Silicon Valley is an affiliate group of IEEE, the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. IEEE is the largest global professional engineering society in the world. CNSV is part of the Santa Clara Valley section of IEEE. We are a group of over 200 electrical and electronic engineers, as well as other disciplines.
That is my talk, so thanks for yeah.
All right, great. Well, very nice presentation. You got a number of compliments in the chat and the Q&A windows, so I think you did a really good job, covered a lot of ground.
This evening's presentation is Cloud Software, the Benefits of Going Native. And Ron Gerardin is going to be our speaker. He is the founder, co-founder, and CEO of Basil Security with a 20-year track record in this space. Let's welcome Ron.
Okay, so just by way of a quick agenda, so I just want to talk about what's driving the change to cloud-native application architectures, and then I'll talk about what that is, what are the different sort of concepts and design patterns that we see in cloud-native, and then we'll look at legacy versus cloud-native application architectures, which I think is a very interesting topic because I had to deal with this while I was at Oracle a few years ago. Of course, Oracle at that time was putting everything in the cloud, and everything that can go in the cloud will be in the cloud as a SaaS application. Then we'll talk about some of the nuts and bolts of sort of implementing cloud native. We'll look at the cloud native vendor landscape, and very quickly, it's a big topic. And then I'll just sum up the sort of the benefits of why cloud native is a much better way to develop and deploy and run software. And then if we have time, I'll do a walkthrough of a real application that I was involved in building. So first, the drivers of change, and I really like these sort of overlapping bell curves because I think that one technology trend sort of feeds into another. And if you look at this as adoption curves, you can see we had sort of internet and the web, and of course before that, local area network, wide area network, internet, web, then of course cloud infrastructure as a service, and then software as a service. And I'm arguing that we're sort of past the peak of cloud adoption. I think that's probably not true in terms of the percentage of IT infrastructure running on some type of cloud environment, private, public, hybrid cloud. But it's definitely true in terms of that is the de facto architecture now for basically building and deploying IT infrastructure. It's all infrastructure as a service, all virtualized one way or another in private, public, or hybrid cloud. And then, of course, software as a service also really taking off now, the movement of IT applications to service providers, or the basically re-engineering of applications to run like SaaS applications if they're developed and run by enterprises, whether they're internally facing for employees or whether they're applications built by large enterprises facing their own customer base. A lot of people think today that every company is a software company, and I think that's substantially true. Like a bank is a software company. They develop web and mobile applications and a lot of internal software. Some of the banks are identity providers using open standards-based technology for identity and access management. So every company is becoming a software provider. And if we think about sort of, Mark Andreessen's famous quote, "Software's eating the world," that's what he's talking about, that every company has to basically become a software company and use software to be competitive, to remain competitive. And that's a big driver for this change. Now, if we just zoom in on sort of the application architectures, we have this legacy application architectures, which are being abandoned, and we have cloud-native application architectures, which are taking off and becoming the new sort of de facto standard. And my opinion is that we are right now at an inflection point where what's happened in Silicon Valley is about to happen to the rest of the world. And this is a major wave of change that's going to basically redefine, re-engineer, redeploy